So I have a question. Supreme Court judges, SCOTUS, are they supposed to be impartial? Are they supposed to uphold the Constitution according to its basis and keep all of their personal feelings out of everything? And should they not be able to identify a woman? I'm just asking because of this.
I felt in defense of these rogue activist Democrat judges. She says, according to Reuters, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Jackson said attacks by President Donald Trump and his Republican allies on judges were not random and seemed designed to intimidate the judiciary. Jackson,
how can Donald Trump, our President of the United States, ever get a fair trial and answer? How can he get anything when you have SCOTUS people like that?
Sick and tired of our media and Jackson, who wouldn't even tell us what a woman is, because she was so political, playing to the very extreme base of the Democrat Party.
She sat
Justice
silent.
Jackson has been absolutely silent when she was a lower court judge, when Chuck Schumer really threatened two Supreme Court justices, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. Absolutely silent in all the Democrat Party talk about packing the court, expanding its numbers for the reasons
And you know
created
that's
Politburo.
unconstitutional. Come on.
Absolutely silent when her colleagues on the court, Thomas and Alito, come under brutal assault. Brutal assault by Congress. Absolutely silent. When the Dobbs decision came down and people were threatening Supreme Court justices at their home,
going to them with guns to their houses, creating havoc and chaos on the streets.
I could go on and on and on about Justice Jackson and her silence, except now when she speaks out. And John, you don't have to agree with me, of course. My problem is this. President Trump is addressing a serious constitutional problem with a phalanx of, not completely, but mostly
and he has
judges,
and
progressives, as Schumer himself called them, who were installed, and a complete project by the Democrat lawyers, and a project.
And Schumer already said that that's what they had done on TV.
And Donald Trump is questioning it.
To
He's
thwart
questions about what
in
they're doing
case Donald Trump became president
their objectives and their motives, and this Jackson comes out only now and attacks Trump.
I couldn't agree with you more about your criticism of judges. Judges should just decide the cases or controversies that come up before them. Ideally, they should never speak in public at all. I wish they wouldn't give any of these speeches.
Right, thank you. That's what I thought.
I wish they would talk about things like civility and trust and not talk about what's going on in politics today. Because, as you said, President Trump here is not like President Biden when, as you said, these Democratic-appointed judges and justices were utterly silent. President Trump has an agenda. He has a different view of the Constitution when it comes to things like spending, when it comes to things like downsizing the federal government, when it comes
he sees the Constitution for what it is. He takes the Constitution for its word, on its statement, on its merit.
Views, try to persuade the court.
Not try to.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, our greatest presidents in history, like FDR, like Jackson, like Lincoln, like Washington, all did exactly the same thing. But what happened in the last administration, as you pointed out, Mark, is that the Biden administration sought to actually fundamentally change the nature of the judiciary. They wanted to pack the court. They and their allies launched these attacks on the ethics of the justices, questioned their impartiality. There was no peep from Justice Jackson then. I would rather, as you say, she keep her head down, vote, and speak through her opinions. Try to persuade the American people. If she thinks the judiciary is
now
under attack,
we know everything that comes out of her mouth and everything that comes from the Supreme Court that she's in will not be
what she's doing is only
impartial.
Americans' trust in
There
the
you go.
impartiality of the courts and ultimately
boom. I'm already there.
the rule of law.
And
I'm already
she's
there.
exposing herself as